Hey everybody, this is Patrick from Sasquatch and Wild, and we're starting up just a little bit further down the trailhead than where I was videotaping. Again, there's no sound to these videos, primarily because I had the camera inside a case, and the case could not hear one stinking thing that Janice and I were talking about. So this is the second part of Lumpy Ridge Trailhead, which is actually not called that. It's actually called Gem Lake Trailhead, and that's where we were at. Lumpy Ridge is a mountain that is somewhere within that park, and we're heading down towards the beginning of the trail. But on the way down, we missed a lot of things, and one of the things that we missed is coming up on our left side, because I start to notice something on the left, but this is facing the right. I was paying attention to these trees that were, these two little branches that were way off up on those rocks there. And I'll show a picture of that within the video here in a second. I'll do it right about now, I guess. But we were talking, and to our left, Janice spotted this little trail as we come up to it, and she kind of pointed it out, and then I took notice to it too, and we started to see footprints inside this little trail, and the little trail has sand all over it, so it could easily be people that are walking back and forth in this. But we had noticed that there was like barefoot prints inside it, like something that wasn't wearing shoes or socks was walking through this little stretch. And I spotted that a couple times, and I was like, well, that's different. So we will get to that here shortly in this video. It's coming up here in a few seconds. Yeah, I'm not a fan of putting a camera on my belt anymore. That'll never happen again. That's the trail we're going to go down, but that's leading back to the front of the beginning of this trail. But we notice a couple interesting things coming up. One of them is an X. She spots the X, and then I spot something off the X. And I'm going to show it to you here in a second. Okay, so I have to stop the picture if I can do it right on time now. Let's see here. No, I just did not stop it fast enough. I wonder if you can see it. I think you can see it. So this thing right here, this circle that I'm doing right here at the base of the screen, this tree that's right here, that's leaning in, it's placed in a weird way. Now, it was, I want to say that it was broken down here at the base, but this stupid little stick that's sitting up is actually wedged in between this branch, or this little tree that's been broken, and this little tree that goes up, up, and up. And it's wedged right perfectly in between them, and it's holding this leaner in place. And this is what I mean when you look for oddities. This stupid little part right here doesn't make sense, and it certainly doesn't make any sense when you're thinking about Bigfoot stuff. Bigfoot, this is like, oh, okay, there's something odd really going on here. You don't see people doing this. This is not like a normal thing for someone to go, well, you know, I'm going to drive this stick right here. I'm going to hold it over against this. Nope, it doesn't work that way. And it just, this oddity right here, is like a big, huge red flag for it. Like if you're looking for Bigfooting stuff, this is what you're looking for. Just the weirdest, stupidest little things. Further over, I don't know, let's see if I can see it on my camera. No, I can't. So if I lean this camera, pull it back a little bit, there's a leaner right here. That is a leaner. That tree was brought in. Whereas this tree that I was showing here, this was not brought in. This is how it was all stuck together. So let's start the video again. And the sandy trail is over this direction. And let me start the video. This tree is also part of I do believe, an X. Now Janice spotted the X, and then I started looking at it, and I told her that it's not really an X if it's not touching. Two trees have to touch each other. And these two trees in question, she thought would have been an X, and I thought the same thing too, until I noticed that this tree and that tree were not actually touching each other. But this is that part. This is that weird little part right here. From a different view, it's still sticking up and it's still wedging this tree in place. It's holding it between, this tree's going in between this little tree thing and this little tree thing is being held in place, is holding this tree in place. And then back here we have a tree break, which I thought was pretty interesting. This is the sandy patch. And we're going to head down to that here in a minute. I might actually hike back at that point and go back in there and just see what people are doing back there, or if there's something else that's, making these tracks. But you can see that there's things in the sand that don't add up. And I'm finding footprints in there. I'm also finding people footprints, but I saw a few toes, and there's one right there. Let's see if I can go back to that one. If I'll pan back to it. I know I'm taking pictures of one print. I saw toes on one of these. I have to go back and see if I can see it. Let's go back to it. See if I can catch it in time. There's toes over here. Oh, you can't really see it. Oh, you can too. So there's toe imprints right here. And those are intriguing to me. Also looks like there might be toes in this spot too. I would be curious to put a trail camera back in there and just see if I catch anything moving to and from. I would probably catch people doing it. Maybe a few park rangers, but I would be curious to see what wildlife walks in and out of that spot. And the camera is now facing the ground once again. Here we go. I'm readjusting it back. I had a coworker go up into this area. Actually, not this area. He was actually in Hermit Park, where the next video will be shown. And he and his wife was up there camping, and he got up early and went out for a drive. And he said early in the morning, he said he was driving through a little tunnel, and as he came out, he spotted a mountain lion, a fairly large sized mountain lion, largest he's ever seen in his life. He said it was pretty impressive. And it was gone just as quick as he saw it. Ran away from him and his vehicle. Lots of people like to hike on this trail. Now I could not find anything on Sasquatch sightings in this park, and yet there are Sasquatch signs all over this park. So, oh yeah, here goes these 3 kids. So there's 3 little children that go by us, and then a mother passes us. And the mother is carrying 1 child in the front and 1 child on her back. And I thought that was absolutely crazy. I've never seen anybody do that. That's a lot of willpower, carrying 2 children and having 3 kids to watch as they're running up and down the trail. I forgot all about them. Anyway, there's not any history that I could find on any sightings of Bigfoot in Lumpy Ridge, anywhere near that area. But if I'm finding stuff just by going to a park that I've never been to, then there's something to it. There's something there. So I dubbed it the Lumpy Ridge Sasquatch. And that's where the name came from for this series of videos. So when I go back up into the park, hopefully next weekend, I'm going to hike that further, a lot further, and see how far I can get and have better videos, more stuff to talk about, because going into parks that you know nothing about is always intriguing. Now that box, I don't know if you saw it there a second ago. I might show it here. I can't see it. There's a box on this tree, and I thought it was a trail camera, and what it is, the Park Service put this box up, and it's tracking how many people enter the park. Like when you walk into a store and they click it, that's what it's doing. Now we walked 1.5 miles up and down. So we went up somewhere, if you take 1.5 miles for a total walk time, I'm not sure what that would be, how you actually equate that. This is the beginning of the trail coming up. See the people walking through. Beautiful area. Okay, so this is that trail. Now these are still images I'm going to show. That's the little trail that kind of leads off. It goes off this direction. What I found was really interesting, that someone poured sand, or maybe it's naturally occurring sand right here, and you have to go underneath this tree. And I've gone underneath trees before and got impaled. Usually, if it's Sasquatch related, you'll find these branches honed into spikes, and they are sharp. They're like you could, if you lift up your back or your whatever body part is hitting those spikes, will just slide right over that wood. It is just the most horrible pain on the planet. But this is down kind of close, and it's high enough that you can walk underneath this. But I didn't go back and explore this area, and I'm really curious to actually do that, just to kind of go back and see if there's something back in there. My luck, I'll find a mountain lion. Again, I don't know what these things are called. I thought these were called the owls, but I don't think they are. The owls are further on down the trail, or up the trail, I should say, because it goes up pretty far. To Gem Lake, it's supposed to be 1.5 miles distance to walk to it, and we didn't get, I think we got half the distance to that lake, and then we turned around and had to come back. I thought these things are just crazy funny to look at. It looks like a ball sitting on top of a snout of an animal. This looks like an owl or a bird of some sort. This is the park that we were in. Now, we were trying to get to Gem Lake. This right here, this is Gem Lake. And I would like to have seen Balanced Rock. I think that would have been neat to see. I'm not sure what that junction is. I think these are just junctions that you get to. But, and this is Lumpy Ridge. All this right here. And then Twin Owls. So, that may have been Twin Owls. Oh, no. This is where we started. I think we got somewhere up in this area. I think we got to right about here. And we didn't make it up to the last leg of it. This is where it looks like we were at. Although it could have been down here too. Not exactly sure. Actually, I don't even think we got out of the park. I think we got up around this, up this. I don't remember seeing a trail coming off, so we were probably not even up to this junction yet. So I will do that. If I have the time off for next week, I will hike up this, go visit the Twin Owls, and then hike up to Gem Lake. And if I feel strong enough to actually do it, because it looks like it's 1.8 miles to Gem Lake. It's another, this would be 2.9 miles to that junction, and so it's 3 miles up to Balanced Rock. That's doable for me. I should be able to do that. To do the complete trail, that might be a little bit harder on my legs. I might walk back with wobbly legs. Bridal Veil Falls might be interesting to see too. I guess it all depends on which way I want to go. But I think I want to hit Balanced Rock first. In all these little areas, all these squiggly lines, if you're not familiar with topography, that's what this is. So you're looking at different heights as you're going up and down. So some areas in here are going to be lower, and then as it gets tighter, you're either going up or you're going down. And in this case, it looks like I'd be going straight up to wherever Balanced Rock is. So a little gate we got to go through. From the parking lot, I am pretty sure we went around this rock for sure, this set of boulders, and I'm pretty sure we got past this guy. So I think we were somewhere near this little hump that's back here in the distance. We were way up against that thing, And that was a hefty hike. Just hiking through all that. The clouds came in as we were coming down. Anyway, my name is Patrick, and this is Sasquatch in the Wild. The next video will be of Hermit Lake. No. It will be Hermit Park, and I think it was Homestead Trailhead is what we walked on. And I'll show you pictures and videos of that too, because I got to see some different types of critters as we were hiking around, and some interesting sign over there too. So I guess that one might be called the Hermit Sasquatch. Who knows? My name is Patrick, and this is Sasquatch in the Wild, and I'll talk to you soon. I'll talk to you on Wednesday.